Jai Shri Krishna, welcome back as we read the illustrious Ramayana. Almost didn't read it this morning, because it's been quite a morning. You're going to be seeing this video long after the fact, so the problem is just historical now, or a memory for me, but, my girlfriend and I got up, she went out for a run, came back, and I'm sitting on the computer doing my stuff, and she's making breakfast, and all of a sudden, I've got my headphones on, and all of a sudden I hear, above my headphones, "Help me!" What the fuck? And it's coming from the kitchen, which I can see, it's, 10 feet away. So I go into the kitchen, and my girlfriend is standing over the sink, with a bucket, a big bucket, over the knobs, and water is just going everywhere as fast as you can imagine. Well, what had happened was she was making breakfast, and she looked over and she saw the knob, the hot water, was leaking. So she went to turn it, and as soon as she did, the whole thing just came off in her hand, and water just went right up to the ceiling. It's destroyed the ceiling tiles, and just was going at full force. So the problem wasn't the knob, but the knob goes into this bottom part, and the bottom part was 100% rusted out. It was probably 30, 40 years old. I mean, or maybe not even then, but it just was destroyed. So I couldn't find the shutoff, and I'm opening up the bottom, and she's standing there with this bucket, and water is just, there's water on the floor like this. And we can't find the shutoff, and it's an old building. It's probably a century old by now. And so here's the sink. You go down the wall past the sink, then you turn, go behind the oven, and then up high is the shutoff for the hot water, but down below is the shutoff for the cold water. Makes no sense. Well, anyways, I couldn't find it. She didn't know what was going on. I'm kind of panicking, so I ran to a neighbor to see if maybe a neighbor could help us. Knocking on the door, nobody's home. Knocking on our other neighbor, nobody's home. Nothing's happening. And then I was like, okay, call 911. Call the fire department, because we have a management system, and there's 24 units in this apartment. And so after hours, there's a message machine you can leave a message on. So if you have an emergency, leave a message. Even though they have someone who checks that phone regularly, just leave a message. I'm just like, So I knew, just call the fire department. They showed up, could not find that shutoff either, so they went into the basement and had to shut off the water for the entire building. And even then, it didn't completely shut off. And they're like, man, this is rough. And there was just, the kitchen was drenched, and it's a small kitchen too, so even the, stuff on the other side was drenched, and you've seen videos, you know what it looks like. And eventually then the phone rang while the firemen were here. "Hi, it's maintenance, what's going on?" And the firemen talked to him like, "Yeah, you gotta get over here, we're leaving the water off until you show up." But it'd be like 20 minutes. Before the fireman came, though, right after I called the fireman, I told my girlfriend, I said, let me figure this out, let me take a look, and, my glasses were covered in water, I couldn't see anything, and the handle, I realized that if I put the handle on, I could stop some of the water from flowing, or at least prevent it from going up and into our faces, and just, whatever, like a fountain. I could at least then direct it to the sink, which probably saved us flooding the apartment, and so I'm putting this on, but it's like 20 or whatever, 30 pounds of pressure just going up, and I'm holding this down, and like, oh god, gotta switch hands, and keeping this down, waiting for the firemen, and I'm like, get the firemen. My girlfriend's like, what do we do? I'm like, you know what, if they don't show up, take a lighter to our alarms, because it'll set off an alarm at the fire station, and there's nothing we can do right now, and I'm doing this. And, oh my god, it's been fixed. The maintenance guy found a part, and we completely cleaned the kitchen and had to move everything, because the water was just, and it's probably gone downstairs. It's been, as I say this, everything's cleaned up. We're going to my parents tomorrow to do laundry of all the towels we went through, and the kitchen still isn't back in shape, because everything we left out to dry. But it has been a long morning, and that is a story you're not going to hear that often. So I figured let's tell it, because this is quite a good story. Yeah, life behind the scenes for you. So, anyways, today we're going to read chapters 103 and 104. Chapter 103 is called Kausalya, and others meet Rama, who does not have indoor plumbing. The wives of Dasartha, followed by Sage Vashishta on foot, had an intense desire to see Rama. The wives of the king, when they were slowly proceeding towards the river Mandakini, saw the bathing place of Rama and Lakshmana. Kausalya, who had an emaciated face with eyes full of tears, addressing Sumitra and other wives, said, "This is the sacred place of the river, which is east of the forest, where those orphans are expelled from the country and are doing tireless deeds in spite of the difficulties. O Sumitra, from here your son Lakshmana carries water for the sake of my son without any laziness. Though your son is engaged in such manual tasks like bringing water, it should not be looked down upon, because all the tasks he does for his brother are with Dharma. Your son is not accustomed to hardship. If he stops this service, it would be greatly distressing." Then Kausalya, with very broad eyes, saw the Ingudi Pindas kept on Darba, spread on the earth, pointing towards the south. After seeing those Pindas kept on the earth by the distressed Rama, Kausalya, addressing the wives of King Dasartha, said, "Please see these Pindas kept by Rama for the sake of his father, the great King Dasartha, the lord of the Ikshvaku race. I do not think that this is proper food for that great king, who was like a god and one who enjoyed great food. How can he eat the cake made of pulp of Ingudi, as he was a great king resembling Indra, who enjoys food of all four corners of the earth? There is nothing more sad in the world than the once rich Rama, who now has to offer his father the cake made of Ingudi pulp. Seeing that Rama has offered his father the cake made of Ingudi pulp, I wonder why my heart is not breaking in sorrow. There is a well-known saying in the world that a man offers what he eats only to God, and it appears to me truthful in this case." The distressed co-wives, after having Kausalya, went into the hermitage and saw Rama, who looked like a god fallen from the earth. Those mothers who were emaciated with grief, seeing Rama, who had given up all luxuries, were overcome with sorrow and loudly cried. Rama, the tiger among men, true to his valor in war, after standing up, touched the feet of his mothers. Those broad-eyed queens, with soft hands and fingers, with their auspicious hands, wiped away the dust from the back of Rama. After seeing those mothers, the son of Sumitra also became sad, and following Rama, bowed in reverence to them. Those ladies of Dasartha loved Lakshmana, who was the son of Dasartha, who was blessed with auspicious qualities, and just like Rama. Sita, with great sorrow, caught the feet of those mothers and stood before them with tear-filled eyes. Like a mother embracing her daughter, Kausalya embraced the grief-stricken Sita, who was looking haggard due to living in the forest. And she said, "How is it that the daughter of the king of Videha and the daughter-in-law of King Dasartha and also the wife of Rama has fallen into this sorrow in this uninhabited forest? Oh, Sita, seeing your face, which is like a lotus flower withered in the heat, a faded water lily, dust defied gold, moon hidden by clouds, the fire of sorrow produced by the firewood of calamities is greatly burning my mind." While his mother was talking these words of anguish, the elder brother of Bharatha, Rama, clasped the feet of Sage Vashishta. When Rama clasped the feet of his family priest, who was exceedingly lustrous like a burning fire, like the king of Devas clasping the feet of Bruhaspati, he then sat down with him. When they sat down, along with the ministers and important citizens and along with soldiers, Bharatha, an expert in Dharma, also sat with his elder brother. The valorous Bharatha looked at the greatly lustrous and majestic Rama, dressed like a sage, and sat down near him. Like Indra, after purification, sits near Lord Brahma. Among the gentlemen assembled there, great curiosity arose as to what greatly persuasive words Bharatha was going to speak after saluting and honoring Rama. Rama, who was shining in truth, the great Lakshmana, and Bharatha, the experts in Dharma, surrounded by the friends, were looking at the 3 sacrificial fires surrounded by the priests. Chapter 104 is called Rama Advises Bharatha. After Rama consoled Bharatha, who was liked by the elders, he, along with Lakshmana, began to ask Bharatha the following. For what reason have you come to this region, dressed in deerskin and wearing matted locks? I would like to hear it from you. For what reason have you left the kingdom and come to this place wearing deerskin and with matted locks? It is proper for you to tell me about it. When the great son of the Kausalya clan asked like this to Bharatha, the son of Kaikeyi, he saluted him and held Rama tightly and said, O Rama, my brother, our very strong father, having done an undesirable act of vanishing you, went to heaven due to the sorrow of parting with his son. He did this great sin which destroyed his reputation because of the instigation of a woman who is Kaikeyi, my mother. She who has become a widow, having not been able to get the kingdom, she is under the grip of sorrow, and she who is my mother would fall in the most terrible hell. It is only proper for you to do a favor to me, who is your slave, by getting yourself crowned as king like Indra. Your subjects as well as your mothers have reached very near to you, and so it is proper that you do this favor to me. O giver of honor, I feel that it is only proper for succession, and request you to take the kingdom as per the wish of your friends and elders. Let this entire earth adopt you as its lord, and stop being a widow, like the night of autumn becoming bright by getting a full moon. I am begging you, along with my ministers, with heads bowed, and it is only proper for you to favor me, who is your brother, and disciple as well as slave. O Rama, it is not proper for you not to agree with all your subjects, so please adopt the rules of our heritage, which is permanent. That son of Kaikeyi, after telling this with tears in his eyes, again according to tradition, held the feet of Rama. Rama hugged his brother, who was taking deep breaths, again and again like an elephant in a rut, and said to him, How can you, who belongs to a noble family and who is energetic, powerful, and an adherent to his own vows, commit a sin for the sake of the kingdom? I do not find even the slightest fault in you, O destroyer of enemies, but it is not proper for you, out of childishness, to find fault with your mother. It is laid down that elders can act as per their will in relation to their wives and children. O gentle one, in this world good people have treated their wives and disciples as virtuous people, so it is only proper that you feel that Dasartha also did like this. Only Dasartha is competent to decide whether I should live in the forest wearing a deerskin or become a king and rule over the kingdom. O follower of Dharma, our father has been revered in this world by those who know Dharma, and similar reverence should also be shown to our mothers. I have been asked to go to the forest by our mother and father, who both have the character of Dharma, and except obeying them, what else should I do? You should go and rule the kingdom of Ayodhya, being respected by this world, and I should live in the Danka forest wearing cloths of bark. The great king, only after apportioning it like this in front of the people and commanding us, has gone to heaven. That portion that has been given to us by that king who followed Dharma and who is so much respected by this world is final, and so you shall enjoy your share. O gentle one, as told by our great father, I would live in the Dadanka forest for 14 years and enjoy it. Whatever has been told by my father, who is a great soul, who is honored by all the world, who is equal to the wise king of the Devas, is regarded by me as the ultimate, and the desire of the king of the world should not be disregarded. Thus ends chapter 104. So, first of all, an apology, because on top of the other things today, my camera informed me mid-sentence that it was out of room. So if you notice a change or something, I have to get the cord and empty it a little bit. So we'll keep this a little bit short, even though there's something here I want to comment on. So Rama says that elders can act as per their will in relation to their wives and children. So someone can beat their wives and children, but they're just elders, so you have to allow it? That hasn't been shown so well for society. I mean, how many wives did King Henry VIII go through because he was the one who couldn't create children? But it's okay, he's an elder. That's a very touchy-feely place to go. And then it says, I have been asked by our father and mother, who both have the character of Dharma, to go into the forest. So his mother has Dharma, even though she manipulated the king based on outside advice to create this negative situation, which really isn't a dharmic situation. She was acting poorly. And the king knew that. And he didn't want this. But I gotta do it. So really, did the mother act in a good dharmic way? I don't think so. I don't think anyone thinks that. And then it says, you got to follow the rules of our king. And that's the way it goes, buddy. But if Bharatha said, okay, bro, I'm going to go back now, and I'm going to become king, and then I'm going to reverse all this, wouldn't that be fine? I mean, obviously, Bharatha doesn't want to be king, but it's basically, it looks like it's going to happen. So why not he become king, and then go, hey, you know what? I am hereby renouncing the throne and bringing Rama back. That's allowed, right? He is now king. He can now do whatever he wants, right? Otherwise, he's not a very powerful king. Or is, Bharatha, his word is final. Whatever he says, that's what it's going to be. Now, kings can reverse each other. They did it all the time. So why doesn't he just do that? Just go back and say, okay, whatever. Fine. I'll be back for you soon once I renounce my chair after becoming king, and I can do that, and I can reverse everything. That's what he should do. That would be dharmic, because he's serving, what he's supposed to do. He's serving King Nisartha, but then as king, he's reversing it due to his wisdom. And the wisdom of the king is great. Right? Right? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to keep this short before my camera runs out of room again, because I didn't actually empty it that much. So I'm just going to say thank you for hanging out with me today and enjoying my little stories of what's been going on, and I shall talk to you later. Jai Shri Krishna.